Welcome back to episode 364 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my man Grizz. We're going back to the 80s for a cult classic slasher that was butchered upon release to the masses via VHS. But before that, let's hit that intro. Yes, that's right. We're covering Intruder.
Kind of a lackluster, fucking title card for such an amazing movie that we're about to talk about, dude.
Yeah, this I feel like is one of those, I'm not going to say forgotten because, in our circle and everything, everybody knows Intruder. But the average Joe Schmo Halloween Friday the 13th watcher probably doesn't know this one. And I feel like they should.
Fucking shame.
It is a whodunit slasher, even though you could kind of figure it out kind of early in the movie, just by the, I don't know, you can kind of figure it out. But I always loved the location, the setting in the closing grocery store, working night shift anywhere. You know how creepy it could be. You know how really nobody knows where other people are, especially when you're doing that overnight shift.
Stocking shelves.
Yeah, people that bringing friends in, you don't know who the hell's in the building. Could be kind of scary sometimes, and I could only imagine in the 80s it being much worse.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that this is probably one of the best settings, in my opinion, for a slasher movie like this. Like you typically see them in the woods or the suburbs and shit like that. This entire thing is isolated to this grocery store.
Suburban slasher, bro.
It's such a fucking unique take on this kind of movie, dude. And this is also probably one of my favorite. This movie is so well written. Like it's my favorite story. That kind of even though you just said it's a little easy to put together and shit, I just think it's so much fun to have these characters. They all fit so well into this movie, man. When we get into this, everybody kind of plays a perfect role in their slot, man. It all makes sense, dude.
This movie fucking rules, man.
It's been a long time since I've watched this, and I watched it again, and I was like, fuck, man. Why am I not watching this movie at least once a fucking year? Yes. This is that good that it deserves a yearly repeat, man.
I agree. Now, here's the thing with this movie. If you watched this on VHS growing up, you rented it from the video store, you saw it on TV or whatever, is missing a ton of shit. Just like we were talking about with The Beyond, where the 7 Doors to Death, 7 Doors of Death releases are missing a ton of the crazy gore sequences. Things are cut as soon as something happens. That's how this original VHS is. I can't speak about the Euro releases, things that were in other countries. Generally, those are cut too. But now, with the luxury of modern technology, with the internet, with DVDs and Blu-rays, you could see how this movie was supposed to be. And those are the clips that we pretty much have tonight, are the sequences that were cut from that VHS that went on for maybe 15, 20 seconds more, or included the actual, the moment of impact or the moment of splatter. It makes it a totally different movie. We're all here for. Yeah, it makes it a totally different experience, a totally different movie. I think if you haven't seen an updated version of this, definitely go watch it and then maybe listen or watch the YouTube video that we're currently about to, or currently in the process of doing. But Grizz, Intruder. This is a movie I didn't see until much later in life. It has its connections to The Evil Dead. It has its connections to Skinned Alive with Scott Spiegel. This movie, you have Ted Raimi in it. Ted Raimi, I'm not going to say he's a main character, but he gets a decent amount of screen time, and it's memorable screen time too. What's your history with this? Did you see this when you were a kid? Did you see this in high school?
No, absolutely not. I wasn't even on my radar until probably like into my 20s. I'm a huge fucking Evil Dead guy. So always liked Sam's work. It was probably around the same time he was like doing his like Spider-Man shit and stuff like that I think I actually got into this movie, because I was like, dude, fuck Spider-Man. I don't want to watch that garbage.
You start seeing
like,
connections to other, I started, what did he put his money into?
I looked. It was also when the internet came about, where I could start looking at an IMDb, and I could see, oh, there's these other movies that I've never fucking heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the fuck is Intruder? You hunt it down. Luckily, the first time I ever saw it was the uncut version, so I've never had to like sit through the extremely boring. I can't imagine. I mean, this movie would be fun still, but it would not be an epic.
No,
like it really is now, man.
With the uncut shit, it is absolutely insane. Do you want to give a little synopsis of Intruder?
Yeah, a little tiny grocery store in a small town is closing down for the night, and a unwanted
closing down
guest,
forever.
Well, that's part of the story for sure. It is closing down for the night, but it's also happy to be closing down forever. And an unwanted guest is also closing out some lives that evening in a very brutal fashion. So this is perfect for what we're all about, man.
So it's a teen slasher, technically, I guess, right? All these people seem to be in high school or college, like early college. Yeah. You have the whodunit. You know, you never quite see who the killer is for most of the movie. They have the red herring. You think it's this person the whole time because there's a wild incident in the beginning with an ex-boyfriend where he's like the stereotypical, you know, bad boy.
I watch your back and I'm going to do anything it takes kind of.
Yeah, dude, that guy is fucking nuts. Our main character, you would say, Jennifer, she has a boyfriend, Craig, right? He went to jail because he got into a fight with a bouncer or somebody at a bar and he accidentally killed him. But he only did he did less than a year or something. Like, he didn't really do that much time. I figured you
justifiable homicide or something. I don't know, because they were fighting, so he didn't get a charge or anything. So.
But like that's like kind of the main driving factor of the beginning of the film. That's, I'm gonna say it right now, that's your red herring for most of the movie, because he like starts a whole bunch of trouble, like, you know, being a total fucking psychopath. Like,
he fights everybody in the building. Oh yeah,
he's fucking. He don't give a shit. He's being loud, obnoxious, belligerent, maybe on drugs, because there is a little line later saying that he got into the hard stuff.
You're making wild assumptions with the rest of them now, Michael. There was no proof that he was on drugs. I will not have that kind of slander of our man.
Dude,
he had a cool leather jacket on. He was a fucking all right kid in my book.
Come on. You deserve that. You deserve to give me an answer. I deserve it. He's like,
he's a little upset,
nuts.
Dude. All right? Yeah, he had love passion, is what he was.
If you're listening to this, I'm rolling my eyes so fucking hard they're gonna fall out of my head. The guy,
it gets to the point where they end up fucking locking this dude out of the building, and that kind of sets up like what you're saying. Him being the red herring is that he's the person they want out. Everybody they want inside of this building is now there. You got your whole, crew of fucking night people. You got the 2 cashier girls. You got the stock boys. You got the meat guy, the fucking produce guy. They all have their individual roles, and these guys play these roles perfectly.
Yes.
They're all exactly what you think they would be at this time period, man.
Little known fact, this was actually a dream of Mainstream Mike, to work the overnights in a grocery store, just listening to the boombox fucking package shelves. The simple things.
You ever worked in a grocery store?
No, but I worked in a CVS that had like a similar thing. Fucking miserable. Luckily, I was the photo guy, but I still had to help with like packing out shelves and doing all that stuff, inventory, trucks.
My first job was a grocery store when I was a young lad. I was a produce kid, packaging up all the fucking produce, putting the apples out and shit, dude.
Dodging banana spiders.
Yeah, I started out on cash registers. That's where they first put me mistakenly. Realized I was a fucking problem. And then they put me back in produce, where I was also a fucking problem. And I got fired from that job pretty quickly. And then I worked at like one of those discount, like I don't know what they call them all over the place, but like the Price Rights or the fucking, Shop and Save a Lot, Aldi's, all those kind of like fucking secondhand grocery stores or whatever.
The used I worked at one of those stores, the secondhand food stores.
Yeah, I worked at the fucking the donation used food stores where like, secondhand, but fucking that's fucking funny, dude. But that was a free for all, dude. I'm talking like fucking pallet jack races down the aisles and shit, man. Like that was a fun fucking job.
I could only imagine. When I worked at CVS, just the dumb shit we used to do with we'll see later, the compactor and all that stuff, the dumb shit where you realize like shit, if OSHA walked in here right now, we'd all be fired. But luckily, the CVS Corporation trusted a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds with the store.
That's wild to me too, dude, because we were all fucking kids at that motherfucker.
Dude, we were all high school
kids.
The
managers were like 18. Like those were the responsible fucking ones. And
dude, my buddy was the shift supervisor, the manager at night. We were in fucking 12th grade. Like I ran the photo area. He ran the front of the place. The fucking pharmacist was like a 20-year-old person. Like it was insane, man.
No, we had the best deal set up though, because like I was in produce, my buddy was in fucking dairy, and like at the end of the night we'd be like, all right, let's save up all the rotten shit. We'll go back to the fucking trash compactor. And we'll fucking play some baseball by throwing just all the rotten fucking food into the back wall of that motherfucker, dude. That's how we kept busy, man. It was a simple time period. It was life.
We used to you would price stuff out, old inventory and shit. And anytime you had an aerosol or a shampoo bottle, you just fucking set it up. You'd put the compactor down.
That fucker exploded.
Yeah. Now there's YouTube channels and shit for that. People putting stuff in the fucking in a press. It's like, oh, let's press a glass ball. It's like, shit, I was doing that in fucking 2003 in the CVS back room.
Tape it, dude.
We're going to get into Intruder, but I got to say, man, I used to just walk, I'd grab a cup of noodles off the fucking, the rack and just go and make it and eat it. Nobody gave a shit. Yeah, it was.
That's the best part about working at a store was the helping yourself to most of the things in the
reading
store,
all the skateboard magazines and shit and just sitting there fucking well Intruder. Also I want to say what's up to the chat. Recently Beheaded mentions that Ted Raimi listens to the longest song ever recorded. I like to think it's like a late 80s early 90s Dead song. Right, it kind of gives off that vibe.
Jam session, dude.
Yeah, he's just listening to it. It's just fucking going and going and going.
Jerry's really letting it go on this one, guys.
But man, we start this fucking thing off with a pretty crazy kill. Something that I think about all the time for some reason when I'm at work and I see things that are sharp. Oh my God. So we have two store managers or owners. One we find out owns 51%, the older guy. Well, at least he seems like the older guy. And the other owns 49%. So the 49% dude goes off to go see what's going on in the front of the store with our fucking Grizz's favorite character, Craig, which is very problematic. We're going to have a talk after. But
you're just as bad as the people in this movie, Mike. I'm telling you right now.
Dude, that'd be Ted Raimi. I'd be the one not even realizing it with my headphones on and just but our man up in the booth doing his work, which I remember going up there and sitting with my buddy as he fucking closed out the registers and shit. He ends up getting, is it considered impaled? What is it called? Is that I guess, right? Skewered?
Yeah, it's an impale. Yeah, skewered. I like skewered. Yeah,
skewered. We get a mystery character come up behind him, grab him, and start pushing his face against one of those, like, what do you call it? What the hell? Like a paper skewer, I guess.
It's a receipt collector thing.
Yeah, I used to see him in like pizzerias and shit. Now people can't be trusted around sharp objects, but this is a pretty gnarly scene. So he's struggling, and of course, he's lowered slowly onto this thing, and boom. In this version, you see the dummy with the fucking piece of metal going through his eyeball.
Not that crazy. They could have put this in the uncut. I don't think it really would have been too much, in my opinion.
You know what's awesome about this? He's spazzing out, right? And his left hand is touching the big calculator. And it's fucking
making the fucking noises, bro. I like that too. That's awesome.
Dude, what a fucking like shudder-inducing kill. For whatever reason, just thinking about having that thing kind of slowly push through your face.
And as we find out, it really doesn't kill him. The dude suffers for fucking hours with his fucking eyeball missing, dude.
Look, Jesse Collins, my first job was 13 years old, working in the cornfield for $4.50 an hour.
Damn, bro. I think mine was like $7.25 was my, maybe, no, I think it was 5 something now that I think about it.
My first, well, CVS was my first job, like my first real on the books job. Actually, no, Target was. I think I got paid like $6 an hour or something like that.
Dude.
Yeah, I was not making a lot of money working there. That's for sure. But now we start seeing the rest of the store employees get knocked off one by one in secret. Which I don't know, man. Some of these things I feel like there's no way you wouldn't hear happen.
Oh, that's
right.
That's definitely. They all should be wearing fucking headphones if like nobody hears anything fucking going on, man.
Or have the music playing over the fucking.
But man, like these deaths, the sequences of deaths might be one of like the best. We see a lot of movies like this where you get the early storyline build up, then you get just a kill off of most of the characters. You know, usually your final girl is going to be left, which is the case 100% in this movie as well. But this might have one of my favorite just like back-to-back kill sequences where it's just like, this one's great. How can it get better? This one's even fucking crazier, and it just kind of keeps building on itself, man.
Before we do that, because we're gonna go in deep with those two things. Let's first show Ted Raimi's death, because you do hear the Forever song. The
great detail about this too, man, that I love that we'll talk about after, but it's these little tiny attention to detail things that make great horror movies.
So he's jamming out. I like his hair. Like it's like a comb over, but
it does kind of sound like a Dead song now that you say that, dude.
He's chopping watermelon.
Really chopping it.
Yep, just jamming. Oh, man. And he gets the butcher knife right into the back of his skull. And it goes in.
What's absolutely amazing is that the headphones are cut with the skull and the headphones fall, one on each side of his face. That is beautiful attention to detail, dude. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh, the headphones are cut too. That's how it would be. Amazing.
I didn't even notice that, man.
Amazing.
You know what? There's one more kill that I want to talk about. I believe it's the is this the butcher guy that gets meat hooked? Because this
it's definitely a butcher.
So this is pretty interesting. Usually, you know, a la Texas Chainsaw Massacre and plenty of other movies, when somebody gets thrown on a meat hook, they're usually put back first, right? Picked up and thrown on.
Yeah. Good call.
Not in this one. This one is pretty brutal, I would say.
Finds a hand.
Is that Sam? That's Sam Raimi?
Yeah, I believe so.
So he ends up getting picked up and shoved on the meat hook face first.
So,
like, that is pretty yeah. Look at that thing. It's like under his chin. Oof.
The issue I have here is, who the fuck is strong enough to pick a grown man up by the shoulders and then place him on a fucking meat hook the dude didn't struggle at all. He let himself get picked up and floated over to this fucking meat hook.
Yeah.
But this man had to be a fucking giant. Like Andre the fucking Giant had to have picked this dude up.
It's incredibly hard to like manhandle somebody like that. Like that used to be the joke with Mainstream Mike when we would go to the gym. After a certain point of like overhead pressing, you get to a certain like level where he would start saying like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna be like Jason from Part 3 or Part 4, throwing the body through the window," because you don't realize like the amount of fucking strength it takes to pick up like a grown man, either to over your head without assistance and throw him, or just to pick up a semi-struggling person, and just plopping them onto that meat hook.
Yo,
no way.
I mean, even picking up a dead bar with plates on it at the same weight is nowhere near like picking up a person of that weight.
Yeah,
it is such a different feeling, dude. I hate that. Like, could you bench press me type thing? Like, I've always seen people try to bench press other people. And it is the stupidest fucking thing ever, dude.
You have to be immensely stronger than what the person weighs for it to really work. That's the only
to stabilize them. I think that's what it is. They're too fucking loose, dude.
Yeah, like the person being benched won't be able to stabilize themselves stiff enough for you to actually get good leverage to push them. Unless, like I said, you could just brute force it, diesel truck that thing. Right?
We're probably fucking boring people. So like,
all right. Let's get to the good shit. All right. Number 1, the trash compactor kill.
Dude, this might be one of my favorites. Honestly,
this is gnarly.
I love this compactor. Anywhere I worked that had this machine, I wanted to be fucking using it at all times.
This is just one of those things that's in the back of your mind anytime you use anything that presses, right?
Yeah.
What do they call that? What do they call that? Like the not a dark thought. What's that?
Intrusive?
Intrusive thought, like jumping off the fucking cliff.
So intrusive, dude.
So he gets forced down to the trash compactor. It's turned on. It starts going, compacting. And your skull probably stands no chance against this motherfucker. And at first you think it's going to cut away, and then you actually see his skull get fucking smashed from the forehead up pretty much.
Real nice.
That noise, too. Look at that, the splatter at the end.
It's juicy.
It is juicy, that's for sure. That's something that's definitely not in the VHS. That's
understandably so. That is pretty fucking gnarly, but man, is it so amazing. Like, because you're always going to see that type of kill, but you're never going to see the moment of impact. You're always going to see it from a different angle.
It was cut away. Yeah.
Always get a cutaway, dude. Just being able to fucking, even if, okay, it's a fucking dummy, you could tell, like, we don't care.
We don't care.
Awesome. It's fucking awesome, man.
Now, Grizz, the fucking best thing in this movie, the most infamous scene in this movie, the bandsaw kill. Right?
Dude.
Horizontal head bisection actually. Bisection.
Yeah.
At about, what would you say, like right above where your teeth are on your
like, nasal cavity spot, probably to start, maybe like bottom of your earlobes.
Yeah,
I believe this is the appropriate spot.
This is fucking brutal.
Yeah, see, right, bottom of the ear. It's moving him around a little.
There he is. Turn that bandsaw on. Bandsaw's terrifying as it is.
Oh, he's going above the ear.
Yeah. Oh my God. And his face his whole head is pushed through.
Chunks of meat. Oh, the separation there.
Yeah, you see it like separating. Good. Oh man.
The push, the struggle. It's all real.
Dude, to the people listening to this at home, and not watching the YouTube video, you are missing out on that one. Well, we cannot describe how brutal that actually is, and it looks like straight out of like the Burning Moon hell sequence.
I was
Like,
gonna say, dude, Olaf Eyenbach jerks off to this kind of fucking scene, dude. This is like what his dreams are made of. Watching the teeth get mangled and shit, like that's prime time, fucking great splatter film. I don't care what budget. That's amazing, gnarly stuff. Anything that kind of like gives you the sensation that it's fucking happening to you. Really good effect
gives you like
work, man.
the goosebumps from it. You know, gives you the chills. Now, Grizz, this leads me to a question: is this the greatest Saw kill in pretty much any of the movies that we've covered? Does this beat out all the others? Now, we have a few select moments,
some honorable mentions, maybe
some honorable mentions that maybe these are, because my number 2 is in these honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I think maybe actually my 2 and 3.
I was gonna say there could be, we could have a top 3 here for sure.
Maybe 4 actually. Who knows? But one of them isn't a kill, so I don't know. We'll see. First, let's start with Blood Frenzy. When the miter saw is used, I believe he cuts off his leg. Right?
Yeah, this is awesome.
This is a brutal sequence. I don't know if it's just the time and the way that this movie is fucking shot, but this one gives me the, wake up in a cold sweat in a, dark room somewhere, just waiting for this to happen feeling. I don't know. Oh. The shit.
Tickle it first, wake him up. Oop, there you go, buddy.
Yeah, imagine just waking up and all of a sudden your leg is being cut off with a miter saw.
Oh man, they did a good job with the end.
That's a sick cut, right?
Yeah.
Now I think with this one, what sells it is when he picks up his leg and it's cut and it's shooting blood and they show him on the table. I feel like that gives it like that, That's why it's an honorable
nub
mention.
Work there. I really like the nub work they did on the leg. The fucking him selling is what really does it for me too, man. He does a great job with it.
All right, next honorable mention.
That's a good one, dude. That's a good one.
From a classic entitled Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. And this happens right in the beginning of the movie when we get our 2 yuppie college guys going to fucking Texarkana weekend. And they meet the Sawyer family on the highway, on the bridge, and we get an awesome fucking saw cut kill here. Kind of similar to the one we just saw, right? Kind of. But this one has another post-cut reaction that's awesome. That really sells everything. So Leatherface cutting through the side of the car as they're on the fucking phone with the radio station. The music makes it too.
Here we go.
So they cut to the driver and he's like shaking, going to hold his head, and you realize that like the top quarter of his head is fucking cut.
That shot from the back.
The blood shooting out. Oh man. Anytime like somebody like gets beheaded or whatever in a movie or something like that, and you still see the hands like
amazing.
Awesome.
The only thing that one is lacking for me is the moment of impact with the saw. You don't see the actual cut happen, where that would really just take it to. But then again, you wouldn't get that amazing shot of him grabbing for his head. And
see, that's the thing. I don't need the moment of impact on that one because it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to realize anything really happened to him till they cut back and the friend looks at him and all of a sudden, like, you see him fucking bleeding and all that. Now, here is, I would say this goes 1 and 2 with Intruder, right? Okay. And that is the, yet again, bandsaw kill from Absurd. And this has that early 80s grittiness that just makes you fucking wince. Plus, just everything that goes along with it. This whole movie is fucking crazy. We got to recover this one now that we're on YouTube.
100%.
I think this hits close to home for us too because we're both bald. So
yeah, dude, this really fucks me up a little bit.
Pushing him. Look at that face.
I fucking love that guy, dude.
It's a close-up of the bandsaw blade when it starts going into the scalp. Oh, man, dude. The blood shooting everywhere from the overhead shot.
Oh, that guy's face is... everything about this is great.
So awesome. So awesome.
Could be number two, honestly.
Now you do. I think actually I'm going to say Intruder is number one and this is number two. And Absurd is number two.
I could agree with that. Recently Beheaded said in the chat here, great scenes in fucking DOSCON Brutal Duel with some other ones that are honorable mentions. Man, is the Polonium? Is it in Black Bad Magic where he's tied to the fucking conveyor belt?
Oh, the wood chipper.
Is it? Oh, it's a wood chipper. I thought I couldn't remember if it was a wood chipper or sub, but
yeah, it's
his
a wood
reaction
chipper.
On that either way is
it's supposed to be like a mafia thing. Like they're putting them through, right?
yeah, dude. So
now we have our final honorable mention, and I'm fucking shocked that Grizz put this in the folder because it's so fucking random. But here's maybe if they had this guy handy,
solved everything, dude.
This is gonna be what copyright strikes on. Yes, that is a chainsaw cutting through a wonderful tree.
Oh, shit. It's fucking Chuck Norris, dude.
Chuck Norris stopping the chainsaw with his bare hand while wearing like a traditional Indian garb.
You can't stop steel, baby. That's what it's all about.
Dude, what made you think of that?
My dad is a huge fucking Chuck Norris guy. I actually had to text him to be like, do you remember this fucking movie? He had no fucking idea what I was talking about. I was like, how the fuck of you, of all people, have no idea what I'm talking about? And I searched the bowels of YouTube until I found fucking Chuck Norris stops chainsaw with his bare hand. So,
Did you ever find out what movie that was?
I didn't even look. I took the clip and fucking bounced, dude. I will get the information for it for sure. I'll post that clip with the fucking name of the movie.
Ask EK, he might know.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's fucking... Just fucking tell us immediately.
So after all these employees are dispatched, we finally get the killer reveal. You probably could have figured it out by now if you were kind of paying attention to the movie. But unfortunately, she doesn't realize it. Now, I really like this because you start to see how fucking crazy our killer really is. He's not as normal and nice as he seemed possibly in the beginning of the film. But
didn't like this heel turn, bro. Gotta tell you.
No? Why?
Because I liked this guy. Something about him. He's just a likable fucking guy in the beginning of this movie, dude. But he's a great bad guy, too, let me tell you.
It is the other store manager pretending to call the cops right now.
He did not want to fucking sell. I love this. Running down the fucking cashier aisles, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's running across the fucking registers, but like the whole background is blacked out. So all you see is like the registers and him running, chasing her.
So there's another aspect of this film that I think is overlooked because it's not this iconic 80s synthy fucking soundtrack. This whole thing is done orchestra, like a traditional orchestra soundtrack, but it's also heavily like piano forward. Like it's almost like a fucking evil Looney Tunes fucking movie, which kind of makes sense because that's always been a huge influence on Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
And you can feel that, but it works so well for like building tension in this movie without it like overshadowing what's actually going on throughout the movie. It just kind of complements it really fucking well.
I agree. And the guy Bill, the manager, he's like the way that he acts and his personality, it matches like the piano score and everything, like almost cartoonish sort of, but I like when she starts doing the what's her name, Jennifer? She starts I don't know, we're terrible with the fucking names here.
Don't come here for names.
That's true. Yeah, Jennifer. Jennifer's running through the store trying to get away from him, and she does like the Friday the 13th, finds all the bodies, right? But the best one,
the discovery, dude.
The discovery of the head.
Well, she's already seen some shit at this point.
Yeah, she's already seen a thing or two. But she opens like the refrigerator door.
Oh shit!
And the bandsawed head is sitting there, but like propped back together. And they keep showing it. They keep going to it. Yeah. Dude, how much would that fuck you up?
Quite right.
That's what makes it so unsettling.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
remember those fucking on like, what was it, Mario 2? Where it had that game where like the fucking, or was it Mario 3? It had the fucking things that went across the screen.
Oh, you have to match them up.
You had to fucking match them up. I always get the fucking face a little fucking crooked.
That's what this reminded you of. There's another part where there's a callback to a story that Bill tells earlier on in the movie when he was a volunteer fireman and they go to a bad accident and the dude was walking down the highway swinging the head by the hair and eating a sandwich, eating his cheeseburger or whatever. And there's a callback later in the movie, and I fucking love the way he says this line. Right?
This is the best like non-killing scene in the entire fucking film. His acting, everything about how this scene looks, the way like the camera moves and shit. I had to take this, man.
He's walking down the aisle towards Jennifer, holding a head, eating a sandwich.
Just swinging his arms.
Here comes fucking Parker, walking down 9 miles, swinging a goddamn head by the hair in one hand and his sandwich in the other.
That piano.
Hard to get.
You could see he's like totally lost it by now, right? This is it. He's fucking gone.
Here comes fucking Parker, dude. Like
here comes fucking Parker.
Amazing, dude. I could watch that over and over again.
Yeah, Danny Hicks is fucking awesome. Oh, Super Mario 3 or Super Mario World. So probably part 3. All right, I love that one, man. Part 3 is awesome.
Good, dude.
But Jennifer is now being chased. She makes it outside, where she ends up fucking kind of getting the best of him for only a moment. Right?
I thought this was it too. The first time I watched this, I was like, "Oh, this is how this kind of it's cool." But I thought this was definitely going to be the ending of the movie.
So she's trying to escape. He pulls her out from underneath a Jeep that was outside. He's got a huge cleaver in his hand. And she ends up pulling out a giant butcher knife and stabs him right in the fucking chest with it.
Dude, that's a great line, dude. Where'd you get the knife?
Where'd you get the knife? I like how it falls.
I thought the same thing. I was like, where the fuck did you get that knife from?
But he's not dead, right?
No,
he's not dead.
That bitch.
And when she's trying to call the police, he makes his return. But she's saved by your problematic favorite character, Craig, who goes...
The hero of the film?
Dude, he goes fucking ham with the cleaver and just hacks him the fuck up, right?
Problematic. Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
look at this
that
hero
noise.
saving the day, chopping this bad guy up.
Look,
the hand is great,
yep.
dude. His reaction is so good.
Imagine taking a cleaver between your fingers on a full swing.
That's what I'm saying. I felt that shit, dude. It feels, yeah, it's awesome.
Dude, he is fucking going crazy with this thing, just hacking away, right?
What you do with the bad guy, you know?
Hey, you got to make sure he's done.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, which this is another reason why I fucking love this movie. This movie has a downer ending. And it's not because all their friends are dead. It's because when the cops come, one being a quite familiar face.
So is the other one, though, dude.
Oh, I didn't even notice
I don't know either, but I know that motherfucker, dude. Like,
well, unfortunately for Jennifer and Craig, they're being held accountable for the murders.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, beat him up.
Yeah, somehow Bill is like still alive, and he's like, "It was them."
There's Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell is one of the cops.
Who the fuck is that? Dude, I'm telling you, the other cop is
Campbell.
somebody too, man.
Let me see. Dude, imagine being held for those murders now, even though you just fucking escaped.
Went through it. Yeah. And your hero ex-boyfriend saved the fucking day. And now he's being accountable for it too. It sucks, man.
So that other dude is Lawrence Bender. He's a producer also.
Of course it is. That's what I had tip of my tongue, Lawrence Bender. I was going to say that, but just couldn't think of it.
He's a young cop, background character in Reservoir Dogs, Long Hair, Yuppie Scum, Pulp Fiction, from Man and Diner, uncredited, and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, of course, that's where I've seen him in all these different films.
Hotel Clerk, uncredited, Kill Bill Volume 2. But this dude's fucking producer credits are pretty fucking awesome. Hacksaw Ridge. Fucking... Wait, let me read some of these out. This guy's pretty... he was a producer on Intruder, a producer on Reservoir Dogs, producer on Pulp Fiction, From Dusk Till Dawn, Good Will Hunting, Jackie Brown, From Dusk Till Dawn 2 and 3, The Mexican, Knockaround Guys, Kill Bill Volume 1.
He was Tarantino's partner, according to recently beheaded.
Yeah, this dude is fucking got Inglourious Bastards. This guy's got some.
Where I recognized him from as Tarantino's partner. And
yeah, sure. But unfortunately for Jennifer and Craig, they are now going to probably go to jail for life because they don't exactly have the forensics that they do in 2025.
That sucks in the 80s because you probably are going to fucking jail for that shit, dude.
Yeah, and it's far less paperwork to just get these two people and send them away, right? Two nut jobs, and he's got a record also, so it doesn't help.
He has a leather jacket on, so you know he's a bad boy.
White t-shirt with a leather jacket. Yeah, that's going to be your next fucking outfit.
It is my next outfit, dude. I'll be like the fucking fat Fonz walking around. What the fuck you talking about, dude?
But that was Intruder from 1989, a cult slasher that I feel like needs to be seen in a modern format or a modern, I guess, cut, right?
Cut? Yeah, uncut.
This shit is everywhere. It's on Tubi. It's actually on YouTube on the Full Moon YouTube page, which is kind of wild, right? I would definitely say go buy the Blu-ray of this or whatever instead of buying the VHS, right?
Oh, you don't want to buy the VHS of this. You definitely want to buy the Blu-ray of this.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth it compared to this. And plus the fucking modern cuts of this look great, right? They did a great job cleaning it up.
Really, really cleaned up. Yeah, this is such a fun movie. If you've never watched this movie, and especially if you've ever worked in a fucking grocery store, this is a must fucking watch. This will hit all the notes and take you right back and to a wild experience that might have happened when you were working there, because it is so relatable to that specific job.
Yeah, this is a great 80s slasher. But speaking of 80s slashers, next Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BadTasteVideo Podcast, we will be covering the 1980 William Lustig classic Maniac. One of my favorite movies of all time. Brings me back to my New York days. Not necessarily being a greasy serial killer, but just,
you're just a greasy podcaster.
Out and about in New York City. I love Maniac. I think it's going to be did we ever do this one with you? I don't think so. I think maybe it was with Gucci Mike.
First time for us recording together on this one. This will be fun, man. I absolutely fucking love Maniac. Probably one of my, honestly, might even be my favorite 80s slashers. So we'll get into that.
Oh yeah, see, there we go. Grizz is going to be fucking pumped up.
Lots of good clips. So
there we go. There's a lot of good scenes in that. We'll get the nice shotgun blast scene and all that shit. We'll see who could sweat the most. How about that? We'll turn up. We'll see.
I'm gonna get extra greasy fucking next week. Don't you even worry. Butter myself up.
But that's gonna be next Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BadTasteVideo Podcast. And thank you, Jesse Collins. We really appreciate it. We try.
Yeah, man.
We try. Grizz, it's time we head over to the wide world of metal, and we got a crazy one this week. What do you got for us?
I got fucking cadavered. Doesn't really give me an idea of actually where they're out of. It just says United States, but this is some fucking amazing gore grind 2-piece band, drummer and a guitar vocalist. I kind of have a feeling they might be a little bit of Mortician fans based on their logo. I have a much appreciation for that, of course. But this is like not your typical, like, oh, we're just going to do a Mortician thing. This is definitely like some brutal death. There's some grindcore in here, some good D beat action in this album, but this is definitely a little bit different. I will give Mike credit on that one. Let's hit him with the Blistered first. God, I love that thing.
It does have that Mortician sound to it.
Musically, yes, I will say.
Vocally, very different.
Yeah.
So this is a legit drummer? This is a real drummer?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, holy fuck, man.
Crushes, man. That's what really, once I found out that's like an actual drummer behind this band, I was like sold. Like, dude, that's insane.
How much cocaine do you have to do to play like that?
Dude, just ramped. Just fucking going, dude. It's a younger man's game. I can't even imagine. My calves are fucking cramping just thinking about that shit, dude.
I'm sweating just thinking about it. Jesus Christ.
Prepared for next week already. But no, this shit's fucking. I love stuff like this, man. Like you said, it does have, like, you know, musically, it is kind of Mortician-y. It's a little bit faster than I think. Mortician kind of finds more of a groove in some of their songs. They obviously have a lot of fast parts too, but this band doesn't really find as much of a groove as I feel like Mortician does. A little bit more like just unrelenting with their grinding aspect of things. Let's get to let's put up what do we got? Ruptured. Let's do that one next. And I play the one with a little bit of groove in the beginning.
I mean, like the actual production of this is like
crisp. Yeah,
I love that. See, I can't tell. Is that a bass? Or is that the guitar? Like,
to me, it sounds like a guitar with an octave or like a meat box on it.
It's fucking awesome, though.
It's playing the exact same thing as a guitar riff would be playing. So like, and it doesn't list a bass player on here, so I feel like it's definitely just looped, or he recorded a fucking bass track for the album.
It's possible,
which is totally fucking possible. And if that's the case, he dialed up a fucking buzzsaw of a fucking bass. Dude.
I love it. He's got the grunge pedal going.
I actually really, really fucking do love the vocals in this band. It is nothing like, the Mortician vocals, but it sets itself apart from that. It makes it its own thing. Especially on this track, this has one of my favorite metal screams I've ever fucking heard. I specifically saved it for last because I was like, this scream is so epic. Nothing can follow this one, man. Like, so we're gonna hit him with Peel next.
It's like the Brock Lesnar scream. I love it.
Dude, that vocal part there is fucking awesome. It's so good, dude. Are you kidding me? I live for this shit.
I'm just thinking about the scream still, man. Dude, I mean, as much as we're laughing, like, I love this shit. I think
fucking love it. No, like, I'm not mocking it, or like, I absolutely am adoring this fucking band, dude. This is what I love, this kind of shit, dude. This is everything that I love about like heavy, like a brutal death stuff. I love that the vocals are weird and fucking unique at times. Like, that's what makes it cadavered. That's what is this band, man. So it's a four album split here, or not a split, just a release. Yeah, 4-song. The release is called
4 albums. Jesus.
Species. I know everyone's just putting out these like 4 fucking track things now, man.
It's the way to do it, because who the fuck? Then you don't have to come up with all this like dumbass filler stuff.
You're gonna have 4 bangers, right? You're gonna put out 4 really solid tracks on most albums. It's kind of hard to fill up an 8 to 10 track fucking playlist with all good songs, dude, especially as an upcoming band. Like, you gotta capture some magic in a bottle to put together 10 fucking killer songs. So 4 you could pull off pretty well, and I think that's kind of a good way to do it too, man. You set yourself up. Your writing process is probably a lot less stressful. You're like, all right, we gotta fucking come up with a few fucking songs. Let's fucking jam it out, man. So,
well, also, like, what's better, like, taking 2 years to do 1 full album or whatever, or a year to do 1 full album, or doing like 6 fucking 2-song EPs or 2 splits, 2-song splits and all that shit. Like, constantly being out there with new releases, pushing like, oh, new. It's very hard to pump an old album. Something you did.
People more interested in your music too if you constantly have new stuff coming out that they haven't heard before. Like, even if like all that stuff was one album, you'd get it all at one time. You'd find the songs that you really like, and you'd listen to those songs and shit. So like this way, it kind of like gets more eyes on your music, I think too, where it's like, oh, this fucking Cadavered has another new release. It's only 2 or 3 songs, but these are 2 or 3 songs I've never heard before that I'm going to fucking listen to immediately, kind of a thing. So it is a really cool way to do it. Something we didn't have, like, really, I mean, yeah, we could have tried to do it that way 2005, 2006 time period, but it just kind of wouldn't have been as easy to be as marketable with the fucking music to get it out there. I mean, what we have, like, fucking MySpace and shit, like,
you're basically using MySpace, Moonfruit, things like that, Pure Volume,
fucking Moonfruit.
But like, now, like, you have Apple Music, you have fucking Spotify, you have all this stuff that's way easier to get it out there.
Huge for bands, man. I mean, you could use Bandcamp to sell all of your all of your merchandise. You could sell all of your fucking music. Tons of people like looking at your music. Even if you're a nobody, you can get on Bandcamp, put up some shit you made in your bedroom, and people are gonna check it out at least. And I think that's a pretty cool outlet that's available now that was never available when we were younger, man.
Yeah, it gives you like a an accessible distribution lane that gives you a shot.
Independently,
gives you a shot
do it yourself, man.
Yeah, and if your shit's truly good,
you'll get noticed.
You have a chance. You have a chance.
I'll find it. I'll put that motherfucker on here, dude. I promise you. Exactly.
Grizz, where could they find this album, though?
You can find it on Bandcamp. You can find it on their YouTube page. It is. I have not looked on Spotify. It might not be. It's just got released also this past year. Everything that we covered recently, I'm trying to do for 2025 releases only. So this is a new album. 4 songs. It's let's name your price. So I mean, how can you go wrong there?
There you go.
Can pretty much give them what you want, whatever they think they deserve. Here, you fucking go over there and give them a few bucks.
There you go, Grizz. I just looked it up. There is 16 weeks until Halloween.
Dude, we are closing in.
So really, if you think about it, because we start that shit like in mid-September.
That's when Halloween starts.
10 weeks, bro. We're almost there.
After Labor Day, it's fucking on, dude. Let's fucking get it.
Yeah, we're gonna go hard this year. We're gonna make people fucking say, "Holy shit, it's Halloween."
We do multiple dress up days this year. We're gonna fucking go in, dude.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna start buying costumes now, so like I'm ready to go.
That's a great idea. I mean, Juggalos were pretty fucking epic.
I gotta stay away from the face paint. I didn't like cleaning that.
It was tough, bro. I looked like a fucking panda bear for a few days after that.
Yeah, I didn't like cleaning that up. That was a pain in the ass. I'd rather spend a little bit more on an elaborate something else. I don't know. We got to think.
We got some good ones this year, dude.
Do we gotta match all of them? Do we have to like be in, or can we just?
Oh, dude, we don't have to match all of them. No,
I was gonna say that's too hard. We got to at least our Halloween one has to be.
I got a pretty good one that we'll talk about off camera.
Oh, now you're gonna have to tell me that one right when we're done.
Yeah, dude, I got a good one, dude.
Nice. But Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for this week. Where could they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. We stream live every Tuesday night on our YouTube channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. If you'd rather listen to it, we release it in podcast form every Thursday, but you could just go back and watch the previous live streams. It's a little bit better. You get to see the clips instead of just hearing them.
Especially for this movie. This one, you got to see these clips. This one is awesome.
I agree with that. I feel like you don't quite get the same reaction when you just hear it. It's just not. It's not as visceral. Also, apparently, YouTube is relaxing its like standards on fucked up shit. I don't know if that's
we're in, baby.
But like we've been pretty good defending ourselves on here. Sometimes we get some.
You've lawyered up really well, dude. You've taken a good charge, and
I've read those rules and regulations. Yeah, I've spoken to the support team, and I think they've just said these guys are. Yeah, they just said these guys are fucked up, but they're not doing anything illegal, so it's fine.
I had died for every time I heard that.
Yeah, true. All right, I think that just about wraps it up, Grizz. Next week, we will be covering Maniac from 1980. I can't wait. You can't wait. It's going to be fucking great. Great clips from that one for sure. But until then, go watch the unedited version of Intruder. You will not be disappointed. Grizz, anything else?
No, let's get it out of here, man.
All right. Thank you to the chat for coming. Thank you for everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for watching. We will see you next week.